What is up, players? WarbossTae up in his mug. Welcome to my episode 3 of the Game of Thrones Let's Play from Telltale Games. So just right off the bat, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of last episode, that this is a game that is rated M for mature because of all the swearing and the violence. So if that kind of stuff makes you uncomfortable, then please feel free to skip this video and head back to all my painting stuff. If you are interested in seeing what happens this time to the House Forrester characters, then yeah, stay tuned and let's get right into it. So a lot of interesting things happened in the last episode. We had Garrett Tuttle coming back to the fortress at Ironrath, and he because of his decision to fight the House Bolton soldiers on his farmland, he had to go up north to take the Black and go to the Wall. We're going to be joining that character, Lady Mira. We also saw a little bit of Lord Ethan in his role as the new Lord of Ironrath, and it's going to be interesting to follow him now and see how his decisions affect his people, because he's now officially the head of House Forrester. So I think we're going to be joining Lady Mira. So let's just double check. Yeah, okay. Hopefully we can get right into it, because I think I had kind of cut the episode right at the beginning. Yep, here we are. King's Landing.
Your sister can help us. Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favor, and Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay, if it's presented to her as it should be.
Alright, so here is our Lady Mira.
Ethan made this for me.
I don't think we're on any time constraint. I think we're just looking at everything.
It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Elena. Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos. Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
So our Lady Mira here is a handmaiden to Lady Marjorie, who I think at this point in the storyline is getting set to wed King Joffrey. Okay.
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick. I hope to see them all someday. King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally. especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
One moment.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd like.
No, it's fine. Come in.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
Why not? Let's be honest.
I'm just worried about my family.
Ah, letter from home, is it?
It's kind of you to ask.
Of course, milady. You've always been kind to me.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
His voice sounds like it should be
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought.
on an
I've seen you with her before.
older looking character. He seems
You
really
seem like
young
good
looking.
friends.
I mean, he's short, he's kind of scrawny.
I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the royal sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but it was definitely an argument.
Let's get right
What
to
did they
it.
say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and House Forrester.
House Forrester?
I hope you're not in any kind of trouble, but I thought you ought to know. Most people don't tend to notice a call boy, not in King's Landing with so many lords and ladies about.
Perfect for
You
spies.
see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there. Good night, milady.
Ah!
Lady Marjorie.
What is that?
You're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk.
It's a cat lady.
Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
My family wrote me, my lady.
I don't doubt they must be overcome with grief. But you must not despair. We will get through this together.
Ooh.
You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north, whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the royal sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
I'm not a traitor.
Of course not. It's only an excuse to torment you, and by extension, me.
Wow.
She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort. For what, I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear. See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us.
This is tricky because if you tell her what she wants to hear, what if that goes against Lady Marjorie? Hello?
You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Good luck.
I think the best way to play it is to be loyal only to Lady Marjorie, because, you know, Cersei's gonna come and go, but if she's Lady Marjorie's handmaiden, she's the one you want to keep appeased more than anyone else. Who's that little guy?
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Awesome.
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Your Grace.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is. The girl can speak for her house.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They were the Wardens of the North. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Perhaps too clever for her own good.
The girl did name Joffrey as the one true king.
Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Yes, Your Grace. Absolutely.
I see. Despite the fact Roose Bolton allied with Walder Frey. If it was me, I'd find it difficult to so quickly forgive the men who killed my father. Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led her to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
I must choose Marjorie, Your Grace. I serve at her pleasure.
Clearly your handmaiden does not have her priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Forgive me for saying it, but the Boltons have no honor.
Roose Bolton has many unique qualities. Honor is not one of them. You were brave to declare your loyalty to Lady Marjorie. No doubt she was pleased, but Cersei, she will not soon forget what you said. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining. But it certainly wasn't what Cersei was expecting.
I don't particularly like her.
That was fairly apparent to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The Crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the Crown in this regard, not her.
You can help my family.
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous. In fact, forget I even suggested such a thing.
I'm sorry, Lord Tyrion, but it's a risk I cannot afford.
I admire your discretion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
It didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
You'll get us in trouble.
We're just having some fun. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him. And he's always treated Lady Marjorie well. Which is more than you can say for his mother.
I'd marry anyone. if it helped my family.
Right. Of course.
Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well? Sarah?
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was rather disappointed by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
People are not always so easy to please. If you showed Cersei your true heart, she would stab it with a fork.
You learn very quickly. You were brave agreeing to obey the Boltons. That cannot have been easy. I know you must fear what Lord Bolton might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important. I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
I prefer to speak with you alone.
Go on. Ask.
I received a letter from my family. I fear my family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. But if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
That is no small request, especially now. Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire? Joffrey will not look favorably on such a request.
It is that dire, my lady. I fear for my family's safety.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Margaery, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
Alright, that was interesting. Let's see how much further we want to get. Oh.
Seven hells.
Let's play a little game, shall we? Did
Ramsey.
you know my ancestors wore the skins of their enemies as a coat? Not my best work, unfortunately. I suppose I have fallen out of practice. But he didn't make it easy, what with all that bloody noise.
Like a drowning cat. I thought he'd never stop.
As my father likes to say, a naked man holds few secrets. But the flayed man holds none.
Pity he didn't know your father was the Warden of the North.
He does now. How much further is it to these foresters?
A day, my lord. 2 at most.
What was that?
My lord?
Shh! Listen. There. Hear that? I know I heard something. Never mind. We've wasted enough time already.
Alright, so I was planning on calling it there, but let's get a little bit further. I don't think we're gonna do too much here. Maybe we'll just see what Ramsey did to this poor guy here, and maybe when we get to the next scene and it's a cleaner break, then we can cut it over there.
Bloody hell.
Ouch.
Lord Ethan, as I was saying, you are young. And there are those within these walls who are uncertain of your leadership. But 300 generations of Forester Lords stand behind you. Lord Gerhard the Tall, who founded our house, and your grandfather, Lord Thorin the Bold, who seized back the river valley from the White Hills.
What did they call my father?
Lord Gregor the Good. He was fair and wise, and courageous in battle.
I want to be like that, like my father.
Your father was well regarded by nearly everyone, but took years, if not decades, to earn. These were your father's people to lead and protect, and now they're yours. But your father did not bear this responsibility alone. He and every Forester Lord before him chose one man whom they trusted above all others, the Lord Sentinel. Forester traditions demand that a new Lord Sentinel must be chosen.
Keep walking, you craven son of a whore. Move! Summon the Lord! We need his judgment.
I've done nothing wrong! I was only trying to survive!
Lord Ethan. Missed.
Who is this man?
This craven is a deserter and a thief.
This house is doomed! We all fucking know it!
Quiet, thief. Eric was supposed to be guarding our weapons, but instead we caught him stealing them.
2 shields and 3 spears.
Why did you do it?
Because I've no wish to die. Yes, my lord. I fled. We should all flee. It's not stealing if you're taking what's yours by right.
He speaks
true. Right.
I've a family to feed. They're not 2 coins to rub together since Lord Gregor left us to rot here. Where's our pay? Our share of bread and wine grows smaller every day.
Leave the poor man alone!
Mercy. No.
Lord Ethan, I know these words are hard, but they're honest. This house is falling. We'll never survive the coming winter. Most of us won't even live to see it.
We are in this together.
You say that, but it won't be you who's starving come winter.
You'll address him as Lord. Lord Ethan, you must decide the punishment. Lord Gregor always took a thief's fingers. 3 of them.
Now may not be the time for harsh punishment. The men are on edge as it
The men
is.
need to know they cannot do whatever the fuck they please. Their lord will not permit it.
He's a thief!
You can send him to the wall.
Leave the man alone. Show him mercy, my lord. He stole from us. Deserved it. Make him pay for what he's done. Give us justice.
Fuck him!
I will decide.
Send him to the wall. Take his fingers. He's a thief!
If you punish me, you'll be punishing an innocent man. It will be an injustice, my lord. Please, my lord. My family depends on me.
Sorry, I forgot I had the mic muted. Oh, so many different things to consider. I'm kind of the mind to either show him mercy or send him to the wall. The dangerous thing is that if you show one guy mercy, it'll give the precedent for others to do the same, because there's not going to be any consequence, especially since this is his first big decision. People are going to really think of it, and sending him to the wall, though, kind of takes away the support that he would be able to give to his family, and could have a negative kind of repercussions down the road. Taking 3 fingers could turn others against me, so I don't know. What would you do? Write it down in the comments. Let's... Yeah, let's show him mercy.
Our house tends to its people. See, this man is paid and his family is fed.
Lord Ethan, you are truly a merciful and noble lord.
My
He
lord,
did have
this
a
man
point.
is a criminal. A brazen thief.
He still serves House Forrester and deserves our protection.
He's a rat in our grain stores.
My lord, we must speak about our gold reserves. Soon.
My lord, I thank you for the mercy you've shown me. I will never forget my debt to you and to this house.
I think it was the right thing to do.
That was certainly unpleasant, but a lord must mete out punishment when it's due. Not just yourself, of course. You can weigh on any lord.
Maester, what do you think?
Me?
Yes. Did I do what's right?
Disloyalty shouldn't be rewarded if others will take advantage of your mercy. You heard what the thief said. I expect this sort of thing will happen again. But a sentinel can help you in the face of disloyalty. You need someone you can trust by your side. Someone you can rely on, no matter the circumstance. Possessing wisdom.
Who do you think I should choose?
There are 2 capable men for the role. They both want the job, but neither thinks very highly of the other.
How do I decide between them?
Talk to them. Solicit the opinion of people close to you. Here, the bracer of the Sentinel. The badge of office. Tonight is your first small council meeting. It would be wise to bestow this bracer upon your chosen Sentinel then, to show that you are decisive and in control of this house. Your Sentinel will wear this for all to see.
I understand. I'll do it now.
Come speak with me when you're ready to convene the small council, my lord.
I will, Maester Palpatine. Okay, so before I cut it, let's end it right there. But what I would like to do is just recap this episode and see what happened. All right, so we started in King's Landing with Mira Forrester, and she's the handmaiden to Lady Marjorie, who's about to become Queen Marjorie when she marries King Joffrey. And I thought I made the right choices in the audience with the Queen, because even though Cersei can make some even though Cersei can make some complications and throw some obstacles in my path, I think choosing to state publicly that I am for Lady Marjorie is the best thing to do in that situation. I also think that one of my choices to send the other handmaiden, Sarah, out of the room was a right one, because as much as Lady Marjorie trusts her, as much as I may trust her, the Game of Thrones universe is a place where something you do could have vast repercussions if you don't have a really strong handle on it. So she might have mentioned something to, maybe she has a crush on a guy that she's trying to impress, or she lets it slip during dialogue with someone else, and that could come back to really hurt me later, which is why I sent her out of the room. But I love how the writers at Telltale really want to give you these moral dilemmas, like choosing to punish the thief, or to show him mercy, or to send him to the wall, playing on your heartstrings, and trying to get you to make moral decisions, whether or not they have any impact in the future. That is something to consider. I realized later, after I had made my decision to show mercy to the thief, that I'm hoping this will kind of keep the men's spirits up, because something tells me Ironrath is going to need good public opinion and good support from the small folk, but maybe sending him to the wall might have affected this environmental dialogue. Maybe sending him to the wall might have given him a connection to Garrett, who we saw have a chance meeting with Ramsay Snow. Maybe not. You never know. Sometimes Telltale brings these threads back together. Sometimes they just kind of leave it alone. But I'd be interested to see if anything happens of that bit with the thief. It looks like that section with Garrett was just mainly meant to show that that he's scared of Ramsay, and Ramsay's coming, and just to show how brutal Ramsay is. Let's see where I can go. What else happened? Oh yeah, I love Peter Dinklage. I think he's great. As Tyrion Lannister, I think he's just fantastic. And I love that scene with him and Lady Mira. I think in the end, though, I made the right choice not to deal with him. I think it might also be kind of pre-cognizance, or, just knowing what I know of the events in the books and in the show. I know, like, without giving any spoilers away, that Tyrion is not going to be in power. He's not going to have very much power for very much longer. And if we're talking about Lady Marjorie getting married to Joffrey pretty imminently, like very soon, then for sure Tyrion won't be in much power for very much longer. So I don't want to make any any deals with him that would take time to germinate. And I don't know if that was the right decision or not. He seems really cool. Everybody loves Tyrion and Peter Dinklage's portrayal of him. I would have loved to say yes and let's do stuff together, but I think in the end, as Lady Marjorie's handmaiden, it's safer for me. It would be safer for me in my position to not take Tyrion up on his deal. All right. Oh, look at that pig. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It looks like I've got a lot of people to talk to as Lord Ethan. The most important is going to be to choose a sentinel, I guess, to help me make my decisions. And it's down to Sir Royland over here training the soldiers, and Duncan. Is that his name? Duncan Tuttle, who's also Garrett's uncle and the Castellan at Ironrath. So, I don't know, which one would you choose? If you've played this game already, then please no spoilers. Don't spoil anything in the comments, but I'd love to know who you would go with. It seems that Sir Royland is more of the warrior, hot-headed, always very confrontational, ready to fight and mete out justice swift and mercilessly. And he seems very one-track minded. He does seem brave and strong, and that strength might be needed. But there's something to be said about diplomacy, level-headedness, patience, that the kind of qualities that Duncan has that might be better for a sentinel. I mean, I think... Alright, so now that we're repeating stuff, maybe I can get away from him. I think Sir Royland would be great as the... He does great as the captain of the House Guard. I think just as a sentinel, though, as the person who's kind of like the right hand of the Lord, it might be better to go with Duncan. I don't know. I'll think about it. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for episode 4, my episode 4. It's really just episode 1, Iron from Ice of the Telltale Games Game of Thrones.
That means now.
And on that note, we're going to stop it there. Thanks for watching, everybody.